Okay, it looks like we're recording. So the question is going to be getting this camera going.
Hey, it's this one video. Oh, hey.
You see us?
Yeah, we're live now.
Okay, good.
Hey, welcome. I'm not on camera. Your webcam is all frozen.
Other cameras.
Yeah. For spiritual help.
Everything's still going right now.
Right.
That camera? Okay, there we go.
Fantastic. Let's get started.
Yeah.
Right.
Can you hear? Can they hear me?
Yeah, the microphone's good.
This works though?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm 90% sure that's working.
Well, that's great.
On this side.
Am I good to hold it here?
Huh?
Am I good to just hold it here?
I think so. I haven't been able to figure out where the audio tracking is yet, so we're either recording it from the PC or recording it from the microphone. You're waiting. Josh, say something.
Can you hear me? It'll be on a little bit of a delay, but you should be able to start hearing me any second now, if it's working.
I think it's kind of dull, but I think I can hear you.
Okay.
I think it'll be fine. It's a rough, first draft.
Yeah.
So let's just get started. I don't think anybody's watching. Probably not. So,
Yeah.
It's kind of like nobody's watching.
Yep. Go ahead and shut that door for us.
Just want to make sure we don't do anything that doesn't control later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People are going to go back and watch this and go, hey, look at these idiots.
Yeah, I mean, that's about right. All right, why don't we go ahead and start by going around the table as best as we can.
Is this still working on me?
Yeah, you're working. The only one that's not working is me. I just see you. No, we're going to introduce our actual real-life people first.
Okay.
So, Christopher, why don't we go ahead and start with you, and I'll finish this up.
All right, so my name is Christopher Price, calling in Central 75. I'm helping people with interesting ways to use real estate for investments. There's all kinds of ways that you can do it. A lot of people actually can invest in real estate and don't even know they can. If you're interested, reach out to me at 972-372-9810. Please leave a voicemail or a text message because I'm almost always in a meeting, which reminds me, guys, it's going to turn the phones off. I'm not off and release the meeting. So I'll never have volume or vibration.
Yeah.
I'm the wrong person to call if you got issues. So that's me. Who do we want to get next?
Steven next.
So my name is Steven Rose. I'm just kind of here for the fun. I'm a little crazy. I like to have a good time. I'm working in marketing currently for A+ certified clients. We're rebranding to Doc Danielson with wellness. Anyway, we're rebranding and it's really great. But yeah, that's me. I'm just here for a good time.
Ways.
My name is Wace. I am the Reliant Utility Concierge here at Keller Williams Central, and similar to my man here, I'm here to just fly about, have some fun, raise some awareness, all that good stuff. Have you?
All right. I am Josh Swaim. I am another realtor here at Keller Williams Central 75. While Christopher handles the investment, I handle pretty much everything else. So, if you can't work with him, you can most certainly work with me. But yeah.
Better when you were a headless, faceless DM.
That's
just been here thinking like I am the voice.
Yeah. I am the disembodied voice of God. Unfortunately, you can't see me at the moment. We were having a little bit of technical difficulties. Hopefully we figure that out for the next session. But it is about time for us to go. Without further ado, I will, unless there are any other announcements anyone has.
I like pie.
All right. I don't like pie.
We may have pie later.
All right. Let's go ahead and get this started. All right. No, not at all. So, we are going to be running my homebrew campaign of the island. We are going to start off Your characters have been, for one reason or another, undisclosed to you for the exact reason, accused of treason by the King of Ilaria, and found guilty and sentenced to banishment on the island. I'll spell Ilaria for you later. The game will open. You guys have been on a ship traveling to the island for about 7 days now. There are guards present, but you are allowed to roam the ship pretty much freely. Since you're in the middle of the ocean, there's not a ton you can do to get away from that. So, around 7 this morning, you guys crested around, and there is now some sort of land in view. You assume you're now officially at the island. Is there anything you'd like to do before you get off of the ship? You guys have been given one map to split amongst yourselves however you see fit. I do not have a larger map. Well, only in color.
Anybody who watched the prisoner.
Okay.
How do we take turns? Not me talking. How do we go and then I go?
So this is the roleplay version. So it's conversation.
Okay.
When we get into battle, we'll do what's called initiative, and that'll be an actual turn-based system.
Okay.
But so yeah. Yeah.
So what are we together? Are we?
You guys are together. You would know each other. So if you'd like to go ahead and introduce your characters, you may.
Are we jackals or?
You're allowed to.
We can run through.
Mhm.
What am I wearing?
Basic
Clothes.
cloth,
So,
just clothing.
what is keeping us, I'm assuming up till now, from taking control of the ship?
You are prevented from going into the captain's quarters and the steering and all that.
Okay.
But you're allowed to just roam across the top deck freely.
Do I have like a tin cup that I could ring on the cages? No.
I'm sure there's one you could find somewhere.
Do we know where the kitchen is the storeroom B, or the armory 3?
You do not have access to the armory. You have access to the cafeteria, not the kitchen portions, and the stores are also guarded.
So the stores are guarded.
So they've locked up.
They're locked up and guarded. You're not necessarily a way to get into them.
Okay.
You can certainly try.
Can I take any utensils from the cafeteria and break into the storehouse?
You can certainly try. What utensils are you going to try to take from the cafeteria?
Probably a knife. And see if there's any chopsticks.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Just 20.
Yep. First roll of the game.
Here we go.
Add your investigation modifier.
Yeah, I should know that. 3.
So 13 total. You do not see any chopsticks, however, you do find a pronged fork that you might be able to break and weasel
Okay.
in place. So you do now have a butter knife and a fork.
Butter knife and a fork. So,
Are there any honeys on the boat, or is it just us? Is it a big boat, small boat?
It is just the three of you and a good number of guards.
Okay, there's no
Okay,
honeys.
so it's just the three.
the only
Was it with
reason
the three?
You're the only 3 people that have been sentenced to the island for this trip.
So the guards are numerous.
By a good bit.
Do you think that we could find any alcohol in the storeroom? Like, I mean, these are ship's quarters. Like, where do you think we would find alcohol?
Well, there should
And, like,
be,
do you think we would go recap?
fruits and whatnot.
Yeah. You think we could find alcohol in captain's quarters?
Well, I'll be frank.
Yeah.
I hate poor people. And since we're all in kind of guard and stuff, I'm not standoffish because I don't know where y'all stand. I don't know if we know what's going
Yeah.
on.
And are we wearing our clothes? Or
I'm gonna be honest, I hate poor people.
Are we wearing our clothes? Or are we in something that's...
No, you guys are in just a prison cloth.
Me personally.
Yeah.
So you're in the same garb as the rest of us.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying. There's a little bit of tension there.
Yeah, I totally get what you
What
mean.
else? What cloth everyone's cut from? So I'm just kind of not keeping it my own. I ain't that special person, but I am hesitant to throw myself in with y'all at the beginning.
Right now, Right now, Boo Demar. I mean, we're all struggling here. We're all coming from places of mobility, but we're all shitty and in shitty luck. Or in
Yeah, I mean, we just had our
terrible luck. I mean,
Like, I was still trying to figure out how I got on the wrong end of the stick on
yeah. Like, what did he
So
do?
is it under
Piss him
mysterious
off?
circumstances? Like, did I wake up in this? Is this a la Skyrim? I'm in a car.
No, you
Like, few minutes
Yeah.
later.
Like,
you were essentially brought into the king's quarters. He accused you of treason,
Yeah.
found you guilty, and sentenced you to the island. You guys spent varying amounts of time in the prison before about a week ago being put on this boat and shipped off to the island.
But to what extent that we did freezing? I mean,
You were not informed.
Just one of those like North Korea vibe.
Yeah. Common.
So he spoke common,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, well, I'm gonna tell my dad now you doesn't get us anymore.
Did not get you anywhere.
You all want to break into the captain's quarters, see if we can find anything cool?
Well, I'm thinking I'd like to take a look at while you
Okay,
see if you can break into
that's smart. That's really
Because,
smart.
I mean, there's a lot, apparently that number is a good bit, so. I don't know if we're metagame at this point, or which one.
Can I try to like steal something from a guard?
You can roll a sleight of hand check.
Like in their
Attempt.
pockets? Do
Yeah.
they have pockets?
They would have
Wait,
the equivalent, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to do that.
I'm gonna be trying to quietly rob a guard here.
What are you trying to take? Just anything, or
Anything in their pocket.
Sleight of hand?
It's too big.
make a sleight of hand check?
So while he's doing that, I'm watching.
And
So he-
and I want to break into the thing at the same time in case
Okay.
he gets.
you could get
Yeah.
distraction whether he realizes.
18, 21.
Okay, go ahead and make a sleight of hand. Are you trying to lock pick the door?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get into like
Yeah, he's gonna try and use the
to the captain's quarters
Mm-hmm.
or whatever.
All right.
Mine.
Using the knife and the fork that you.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check at disadvantage because those aren't thieves' tools.
So that's 2d20s.
Wait, what do I do?
So roll 2d20s.
2d20s.
Yeah. Alright.
Everything else but not the D20, the most.
17 and 7.
So you get lower
So
number.
it's 7, right?
Okay.
Plus your sleight of hand.
And
All right, so 10 total.
mm,
Unfortunately, that is not enough to break into the door. You, however, rolled a 21, I believe, for yours.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm a bad man like that. A real bad man.
Can I assist?
it is a little late for the assist.
Okay.
Because you guys know the outcome and the rolls.
yeah.
I'm a bad man.
You do manage to, while they're off doing that, manage to pickpocket. You now find yourself with 3 gold and a ring of keys.
Yes. Can we? Do you want to use it for the captain's quarters? I want. This is what I'm thinking. I want to pull them aside and whisper to them. This is what I'm thinking.
Well, did they get caught or is it just scotch free with
Nobody seemed to notice at this point. They did choose a hallway where there was no one currently.
So I want to like walk away a little bit and get back with them and pull off to the side and be like, hey, I really think we can get it done. And some alcohol, maybe make an explosive or something for this island. Like we're gonna be out there, we can bring this power. We got that. We got the keys now. Like what do we get in there? What do you think?
Yeah, so we're kind of
It's a ring. It's a key ring with 3 keys on it.
Are you with us in this situation?
I'm watching.
You're watching
I'm kind of standing there like,
Yeah, I kind of bring him in. I kind of bring you guys in. We talk, and I tell you to like, don't make a heart attack or something. Yeah, like if I had some sort of sickness.
Yeah.
So I'll be kind of the agenda. Maybe wait a little bit so it gets a little
Okay.
darker,
Mm-hmm.
less light.
What?
Sneak.
Okay. Like what kind of distraction is like besides the heart? Like I want to make something.
Well,
Like,
it's like my thing
something.
is we want to make sure that we hit this lick shortly before we arrive. Because if they notice it's missing and we're still just cruising, they're gonna point fingers.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna strike right before they release us. So by the time they realize stuff is gone, they're already heading back.
So that's kind of
If we time it right, if we break in,
Yeah.
and at the same time have a distraction like an explosion in the kitchen, then you could get the stuff and sneak out of the ship.
So here's the thing, if we do a distraction like an explosion in the kitchen, they're gonna,
It's no turning back.
they're gonna go, oh, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Our better course of action is to do something to where,
Mine.
something minor where,
Like a fire.
no, I'm thinking more along the lines of, because we have access to the helm.
No.
No, we don't have that.
You
How about
Like-
masts?
yeah, you might have access to like the bow,
Mhm.
right? The very front, but you don't have. I mean, it's pretty much just top deck, and then your secondary deck, where your chambers are.
So what I would like to do is like, do I have anything that I can perform with besides my voice?
Not currently. You guys don't have anything on you.
So what I'd like to do, I don't like. So you're gonna try to break in.
No, he's. I think he's.
I mean, you're.
Oh, I mean, he's.
Somebody's got the key.
Yeah, he's got the key, so he gets to
Someone
do
else
it.
is gonna stand watch.
Yeah.
Somebody else is gonna be the distraction.
Uh-huh.
I can be the distraction. What I'll do is I'll go up to the front of the ship, and I got this little ditty that I used to do before my shows, that just to grab people's attention. So this will be a performance.
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
That way, I can basically do a soliloquy where I thank them for their hospitality, for bringing us along, and start calling them away.
Are we cool with waiting till it's
Well, yeah, that's just it. So like,
Yeah.
we're getting
or
close.
they might hit a lick, get out so they can't
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
swarm
So I'm basically going to use my charisma and performance to see if I can get everyone's attention, have them look at me.
Can I use my Mask of the Wild for anybody else?
No,
Okay.
that is just you.
Okay. Um.
Such that, as
what's
your
your
me,
Mm-hmm.
and basically being my presenter, so
Yeah,
that they're watching me.
you can certainly try.
Now, the question, of course, is going to be timing. We know how long it's going to be for us to get to the island. Or is there a dock?
There is a dock. It should be on your map that you guys have. You guys are at this point kind of cresting around the northernmost solo island.
Okay. So I'm going to start handling all the guards and making them for their, their other trip and let them know that I want to do a nice little invite for them. Prepare something special and want their attention just to show my gratitude for not beating us on the way here. I still don't know why we're on this.
No.
I do not have any instruments yet. But I'm going to be asking if they've got any instruments that I can borrow. Because I'd love to actually play a song. Otherwise, it's going to be
song with my people.
Acapella. As you're going about the top deck, you notice off to the side, at seemingly regular intervals, although you're not exactly how far off, there are pillars of stone that eject from the water. Not islands, just little bits of stone that just come up.
like an obelisk or something.
Almost.
Like, nothing like mine, but like a rock. Does it look like it's man-made, or does it look like it's?
It looks like it's the natural stone, but it's just jutting out unnaturally almost. They do have little symbols that you can't quite make out. You can make out that there's something on them. You're just not sure what it is from here.
Can you do an arcana check on them?
You can certainly try.
So 16.
Unfortunately, at this point in time, nothing seems to be ringing a bell. You've never seen a symbol quite like this before.
Okay.
Can we know what it looks like or anything?
You guys can't quite make anything out from this distance.
Okay.
However, if you were to get closer and observe it, you would know what it looked like. You still might not know necessarily what it is.
Okay.
What's your religion?
My religion? Christianity.
No.
What's one?
What's your religion?
Huh?
Computer with me.
Plus two.
Computer
Not
plus
bad.
2, mine plus 2.
I'm a bad man.
So I'm going to ask him to help me so we can figure out what these symbols are.
All right, you can certainly try.
So
So he's asking me to help him?
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of asking what's in it for me, though.
We need to figure out what this is, what we're dealing with.
So if you don't know what we're dealing with,
Mm-hmm.
and you're in the same boat I am, so it behooves us to figure out. I mean, if you may know, I may know, I don't know. But it looks like something to me.
So do I roll
So
it?
I'm gonna make his assessment.
One of you would roll with advantage and take the higher roll advantage.
So you want to roll 2d20?
I go ahead.
You can use either one of these.
We have 15 plus 2.
Nice.
17.
Unfortunately, still nothing comes to mind.
Hmm.
I'm kind of done with all the shenanigans, and I'm wanting to make sure that our robbery.
Yeah.
We got a plan.
Well,
Like, I'm gonna go.
We're still trying to figure out. This is
So-
we're getting closer.
Those keys aren't labeled, and you're not entirely certain you have access to the captain's quarters. It was just a random guard.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
You want captain's quarters? I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay, I would like to do a perception check to figure out what those keys are. Can I do that?
Perception wouldn't make sense. I'll allow you an insight check, but it's going to be very difficult because without seeing the lock mechanism itself, you really can't
Well,
tell.
wouldn't we have been by these doors during our trip? So we would know where the storage area is.
You would know where they are, but you wouldn't necessarily know
I got +4 insight.
what the keys are.
Okay.
Very good.
You can certainly try.
One.
Just one.
Oh, no.
Is it one
okay.
Auto fail?
Yeah, it's an auto fail.
Yeah.
That's something like that.
All right, and
Yeah.
I thought it was a new system.
I wanna.
I was like one was a.
Yeah, it's a crit fail. 20 is not.
What's your race?
Well,
Yeah, a 20 is not necessarily an auto succeed.
Depending on what this difficulty
Yeah, depending on the situation, but usually it will be.
No,
what's your fighting ability? Like, how's your fighting stuff? Like, he's a fighter. How's your fighting stuff? Can you back me up?
Kind of. I'm more wiry.
Because we got one set of keys. We don't know where it goes. We got one thing left to like. Can I sleep my lockpick stuff? Even though it's
Well,
disadvantage.
Yeah, you can. It's just going to be very difficult. It's not set up that way.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe I could try one more shot at the captain's quarters. You could go to the food storage, and then since he's a fighter, he can back up himself, and then you can back me up.
Yeah.
In case the captain gets on me.
Well, did we try the captain's already? Or
We did try it once, and I failed.
We need to try storage now.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want to go to the captain's quarters. There's gonna be someone there. We're gonna get caught. I just want to get some stuff, as many supplies before.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're
So
right.
he's not the keys.
Mhm.
Let him do.
Yeah, I'll follow you, and I'll be looking out.
I
I could stealthily, because I got mask or whatever, I could be around the corner and just like.
Well, I mean, and we can also wait for our opportunity. Just, I mean, are we being watched the whole time? They just
They're not watching you like a hawk, but they're around. There are people there,
So maybe,
but they're not just
start
staring you down.
do what we were doing in the captain's quarters to the storage,
Yeah,
or he could do the.
When it says in about 15 minutes from getting anywhere close to it is when I want to start my performance.
That might be right about now.
Okay.
So I'm going to start my performance.
And then we're gonna kind of rush to the storage.
I'm gonna try one of the keys, the first key.
All right.
Storage room.
And
Is it
so
working?
I'm saying,
First key.
I'm calling all their attention.
Mhm.
Hey, all you people! Hey, all you people!
Everybody.
First key doesn't quite work. The second key, however, inserts, and you do feel it click as you turn the key.
Okay. I think we should just open it up a crack, and then I want to do like.
And I'm asking if anybody's got a guitar or.
Can I ask the difference between percept and insight?
Perception is when you walk into a room, what do you immediately notice? Insight is, I'm sitting here staring at every little inch of this like smaller area. Yeah.
Peripheral.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think we should.
What do you think? Should we crack open the doors and us, and then kind of like I own the place?
Okay.
You know,
Christopher,
I'm not
go ahead and make a perception check for me.
I'm making, not like kicking the door in, but just acting like someone, you know, acting like I belong to this.
16 plus 3, 19.
You count a total of 26 guards.
Mm-hmm.
They're worth 30. 4 people are missing.
So we got 4. So I,
You figure one or two of them are probably steering the ship still.
yeah.
There's probably one in the captain.
Mhm.
Probably,
There might be 1 or 2 somewhere around.
Well, and there's going to be one in the kitchen. At least one in the kitchen. So there's one that we don't know about.
Can I do
Do I know these can?
No, you're a bard.
Does he know these
He
can?
does.
Yeah.
Has he been teaching these can through this?
No.
Probably not. Thieves' Cant's less of like a language and more of like symbols and signals.
Yeah.
it's a battle language.
Yeah.
It's kind of like almost like a personal language.
Yeah. It's something that you more like picked up over years of experience rather than something that someone sat down and taught you.
So I'm whenever I do see him, I'm making a weird gesture, whether or not he picks up on it or not.
Can I do a perception check to figure out?
Insight.
What? No, that's perception. That's immediately.
You would see him
Oh.
Mhm. to understand what he's trying to tell you.
All right. What is it?
18 plus.
Plus insight?
Plus, I think it's 3. 4.
22. You would get the gist of there's someone somewhere missing,
Okay.
so you're not exactly sure what that means,
Okay.
but that's kind of the
There's someone missing.
Yep.
Okay, so maybe he doesn't have everybody.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, like everybody's.
So, I want to do a perception check in the stores. I
Mhm.
want to see if there's anything that we can use. Any weapons, any
Alright.
alcohol, any food, any rations, any clothes.
It would also be investigation.
yeah, that would be more investigation.
Okay.
And that might take a little bit of time, but you do have about 15 minutes or so before you're going to dock.
Okay.
I'm in the storage room, right?
You can
Yeah.
help him, or you
Yeah.
can make your own check.
Let's both do our own checks and then come together.
What's your investigation?
+2.
What's your investigation?
Plus 3.
Okay. So you can assist him.
So,
So you'd be able to roll into that.
okay, so I roll with advantage and then you roll one.
No, you go
No.
twice.
Okay, can you hear me that one? Or yeah.
19 plus your 3, so 22.
22?
Yep.
All right. You crack open a couple of boxes. First things first, you don't notice anybody in the storage room with you, so you're safe at least for now.
That's great.
You crack open a couple of boxes. You see perishable food items, so a couple of fruits, some vegetables, things like that. No clothes offhand. Maybe they're somewhere else a little deeper. And no weaponry here.
There is some food.
Mhm.
So maybe some clothes deeper in.
You haven't seen any clothes yet.
Okay, can I look deeper?
You can certainly try. Go ahead and.
So I'm gonna, at this point, I'm gonna start being a little bit more boisterous.
After spending a little bit more time, you said 19.
Mm-hmm.
You do manage to pop open a crate that does have bits of clothing, but they're more of the same prisoner's uniform.
Okay. Give me a second.
Also, just on a quick side note, I've ripped my sleeves off of my
Mhm.
prisoner shirt, just so y'all know.
That's about right.
Can I make a hood?
The guns, the Gugadamon guns are out.
Can I make a hood and like a cloak out of some of these clothing that I find? Like just like
You could take some with you. You could take some with you to try to do that later. You probably don't have the time right now.
Okay, well then I take them with me.
Yeah. So go ahead and mark 2 prisoners' uniforms. You guys taking any of the food?
Yeah, all of it.
Okay.
Sorry, it's just
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a little
Exclude all.
I think it's a little posh to be carrying around that much food,
Mhm.
just because I'm not used to that. So I'm like, I think I'm an apple.
Yeah. Go ahead and mark an apple. About the maximum you could carry without grabbing the crate itself, which is a little conspicuous.
Yeah.
Would probably be about 5 or so apples
Okay, I take
hidden
5
within
apples.
some of those clothes that you've now stuffed kind of on your person.
Yeah, I take those 5 apples, thinking that Mugu Dama is too freaking snobbish.
Why? Like,
To take care of himself, so I
I'm
have
just
to take
sitting
care of
there.
it.
I'm like looking, and I'm like, why would I need 5 apples? I just need apples.
Yeah.
I don't think that way. I'm like stuck, like like rich people are super minimalistic. They don't keep their old TV. They get rid of it. So I'm kind of in that same vein of like, I don't need 5 apples. I'll go get them later. It's just like I don't think the reality of my situation has really.
You guys do at this point as are you starting to leave?
Yeah, we're starting to leave. Yeah, we're trying to reconnect with him as he probably.
You start hearing footsteps behind you.
Hearing footsteps behind us. Can
Is from
I?
inside the storage room?
Not from inside the storage room, but in the hallway. So you guys are headed back out. Sounds like there's someone around this next corner.
Do I see anything I can hide behind that I can take a quick turn and then just kind of like hide behind like a quick something?
The nearest the hallway ends about 45 feet away.
40, 45 feet, there's no shadows or anything.
Mm-mm.
I'm just like acting like
There are candle sconces kind of all around,
Candlestone.
like torches all around.
Can I casually look over my shoulder without arousing suspicion?
You can go ahead and make a. I guess that would be a stealth check,
Alright.
and then Guru, you might need to make one as well.
I think I'm just gonna act like I'm just like cruising the thing. I'm gonna act like like I belong.
Smart. Plus, oh, okay, that's better than I thought it did.
That was a 4.
All right.
So 7 plus stealth 5.
All right. So 12 total.
Yes.
All right. You're not hidden, but you do look as though you're really supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Oi, you do know they're docking here in about 5 minutes, right?
What?
You do know they're docking here in about 5 minutes, right?
Yes, sir. We're just heading back from the laboratories, I think. Bathrooms. Privy. We're headed back from the privy, sir.
All right. You'll be needed on the top deck.
Yes, sir. We'll head right away.
All right.
I kind of point a finger gun at him as we leave.
We'll return.
You think the mall really puts a huge emphasis on cool points. Cool points. Cool points. Cool points.
I was trying to just make him think that we're in the normal just
Yeah.
like us by giving him exactly what he wanted.
Yep.
We tried to connect with Christopher on our way back to the top.
He is in the middle of a very prolonged monologue.
Yes.
If you'd like to finish that up, or if you want to just say that you're done.
Not going to start thanking each
Mhm.
finger gun. I'm kind of from this guy. I'm going to do finger gun to each of the. Say thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Bobby Joe.
I'm putting finger guns as one of my ideals.
Yeah, we got a finger gun on this.
Go ahead and make a performance check for me.
Alright, so no advantage on that.
No.
That's what
17. 17 plus 4. 1.
All right. Everyone that's there is seemingly entranced. A lot of people seem to have genuinely enjoyed your time on the ship as well. Seems that you've left your mark. About this time, you guys notice you're rounding a corner. You're all on the top deck, right?
We two are now on the topic. As we
I love his finger guns.
I wanted to just, as I come up, to see if there's any quick escape route in case they're gonna try to put us in jail or something.
No. It seems as though they're getting ready to have the boarding, or the offboarding ramp to the dock. Doesn't seem as though there's another way off aside from jumping straight into the ocean. And you're not exactly sure how deep this ocean is at this point in time.
Okay, so we continue over to the day.
You guys do notice as you're cresting around to the dock, there is a small cabin with a fire starting to, or like smoke starting to plume out of the
You
chimney.
said this is on the land?
On land, yeah.
On land, there's a small cabin with fire coming out.
Or does it look like it's on fire? Or
It's smoke coming out of the. It has a fire going in the fire pit.
Cooking something, is it cold?
Not particularly. It's not. It's a cool like 60, 70 degrees.
So when you say we're seeing smoke, are we seeing smoke like something being cooked that shouldn't be, like something burning?
No.
Or like just a little bit of smoke.
Just
like,
a small little plume of smoke coming from a chimney.
Okay, like. Okay.
Something that clearly says you're not alone here, but nothing that says something's wrong.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe we should investigate a cabin.
What's in it?
You've not been dropped off yet.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask casually one of the more meaningful guard folks, what's up with the cabin?
Maybe the latest performance.
You know, one of the ones that came up and battled my bags and said,
Did you really think you were alone here on this island?
I don't really know what to think. You know. So I'm not sure why we're here.
I'm not sure either. That would be a question for the king himself, and unfortunately, it's a little too late for that. But yes, there are a good number of people that we've dropped off here on the island. Which you'll run into. I'm sure there are others. I haven't explored myself.
So what are we supposed to do here anyway?
Make a new life for yourself. Guess you could always try to figure out how to get off. No one else has been able to.
So what can you tell me about those rocks that I saw some symbols on? You know anything about those?
As far as I'm aware, that's what's keeping you here. But I don't know a ton about it.
Really? Well, then how does this ship get in and out when
We're not technically on the island.
you
The dock is just outside of those stones. So we stay outside of the island's perimeters, and you go onto it.
Is this like a, would I even understand what dimension is for?
Probably not.
You should have never left the ship!
Well, we're still on this.
You're still on the
We're
ship.
still on the ship.
You're-
Okay, what can I see anything to hide? Can we hide?
No, there's nothing currently on the ship. At this point, the ship is stopping at the dock. A couple of guards place down the offboarding deck that does cross onto the deck itself.
I'm first to get off.
All right,
I confidently follow him.
all right.
Well, I'm gonna thank the gentleman I've been talking with, and if there's any tricks that, you know, while we're on the island or anything I can do when he comes back and when he'll be back again.
Not sure when the next shipment's coming out. Someone else for the king to declare deserves this fate. But yes, if you do find yourself back in Ilaria, be sure to drop by and tell me how you managed to escape.
And what part of Alaria do you live in?
Well, we were all from. Let me pull up my other map.
Somebody.
I don't have the city name offhand.
Music kind of.
City of Adroris, I believe. Let's see.
City of Drawers?
City of Adroris.
City of Drawers.
Exactly.
I didn't realize I would need my map for the next campaign we did in this campaign.
Okay.
Louis took the DM up to one. That's for the next campaign.
Yeah. You're getting way ahead of yourself here.
It's ADR.
Oris. In the Kingdom of Ilaria. ILLARIA. ARIA.
And what was this called? Name?
Didn't catch the name. Let me pull my other map. It's a completely separate campaign.
You did it. Alright.
Alright, you gotta do that next once, otherwise, you know. They can be unhappy, so that means that's where I'm from.
Alright. So you guys are essentially forced off the ship onto the dock.
And so,
I was kind of walking like this. Big man.
Yep.
someone else maybe prodded me like the last call.
Yeah.
Like I don't see any way out of this. I was the only one who was headed.
There is a line on the dock.
Line?
A line where that must be the separation between the island and open ocean.
So on this line, is it like one side is weathered, the other side is not?
No, it looks equally weathered. It just looks as though someone has made a mark of, oh crap, I can't leave this place now. So maybe someone at some point has been trapped unwillingly
And riding that line.
and made that line on the island.
Okay. So like it's on
It would be on the island side.
the island side is a little bit more.
It's our choice to cross the line, right?
No, if you do not cross the line, there are guards that are there to send you on your way.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so we're essentially at that point.
Alright, well, I said across the line to go and investigate the cabin. I don't see anything else to do here.
No, it's fun. I'm gonna bid them for. Oh, I'm gonna ask them if there's anything that
You have your map, right?
That's.
And
That's
then-
the map.
Someone should have given you 10 rations, did they not?
I have not gotten any rations. Can I have all the rations for me and my friends?
Well, you're the last one we can give them to. There you
Yeah.
go. Mark, 10 rations total.
Wasn't it 10 times 3?
Nope.
What about mine?
Nope. 10 rations total.
I got an apple on the front.
Yeah.
You got one apple to get.
I got 5
One
minutes.
apple. I got 10.
I got some clothes.
Yeah.
Right. And what about my root?
I was left in Ilaria.
Alright.
Alright. Can I start making a cloak yet?
I mean, you're out of their realm once you cross the line. You can do whatever.
I'm crossing the line waiting for them.
Alright,
And so
so.
I can make my cloak.
Yeah, I'm gonna tuck my rations into a pocket. Assuming I have a pocket.
On the like prison clothes,
Yeah.
you would have like a side pocket, not a very deep one, but a pocket.
So we'll put my rations there and yeah, let's look at the cabin.
Yeah. Let's go investigate the cabin. So, what do we do?
Alright.
Well,
I got investigation.
I'll knock on the door.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll kind of hide to the side.
Before you guys get to the cabin, waiting for you at the base of the dock where the dock meets the grassland that you guys are docking on, some sort of figure standing there.
Figure like a.
Can't quite. He's got a
statue or-
got a deep cloak on. You can't quite make out what he is.
Say, "Oi,
Hello there.
what's cracking, man?"
Oh, I am just.
I brought my apple. I need the apple.
Oh, so you've got a little bit of food.
I don't need my apple. It's gone.
I was just making it a point to introduce myself to any of the newcomers. So it's a pleasure to meet you all.
Are you friendly?
Yes? Did anyone say no to that question?
Does he look poor?
Some do, yeah.
He looks like he's been roughing it in the woods, but not necessarily poor.
I'm not matching with this guy. He's looking kind of rough on my days. I'm immediately kind of distrustful.
Mhm.
This guy is like,
I asked him if he has anything to trade.
Trade for what? You just got off of the ship. What do you have that you could trade me?
I have food.
I have my own way of getting food here.
I have a partially made cloak.
No use for that. I have my own.
Thank you. So
Okay.
I'm gonna ask, what is there to do here?
Oh, quite a bit. You could always explore. That seems to be a popular one. Most people refuse any assistance that I might offer in favor of going and finding their own way. There's my cabin right there on the cliffside. I'm sure you saw it on your ride up. You can come back with me and I can help you with a little bit of a meal and kind of give you a little bit of a lay of the land. Or, again, you're welcome to go on your way.
Why wouldn't people take your hospitality?
A lot of people are very upset they've just been sentenced to death on the island.
Well, that isn't necessarily that. I just thought we were sitting here.
Oh, you're sent here because this is, according to the mainland, a fate worse than death. The king sent you here, correct? You just got off the ship.
Well, yeah, I'm still not sure why we were even rounded out. Like, I think I was having a good time when we were last.
Well, I was sentenced here many years ago by the king as well for practicing witchcraft, as he called it.
Does this guy look like I could take him in a fight?
In a
Like
physical
fist
fight?
fight? Yeah.
Probably.
I could take him. That's what I want to know.
What kind of witchcraft?
Ask.
I don't worship one of the aspects. I don't worship any of the aspects.
What's an aspect?
Oh, jeez. The aspects are the gods of this material plane. I worship the gods that created the aspects.
So the aspects are guys here?
The gods here, what do you mean? On the island?
Yes.
No. The aspects are the god for the world. Everything. All of the world.
Is this in the world?
This is part of the world.
Okay. I was like, the guys on the ship, were they talking about the aspects?
The aspects would be the gods of them, yes.
Okay. So, like, is that like the deities that were involved in the aspects?
Yes, they would be considered deities, yeah.
Okay.
I recently conferred with my associate, and I would like to know if you have any use for gold.
No. Gold won't get you anything on this island. It's all trade. So if you can use the gold to make it look nice, then maybe. But coins?
What is there? Yeah.
This guy?
Yeah.
I mean, you could build a rapport over time.
I mean, he's offered us a meal on Lays of Land. What's that going to cost us?
Yeah. I think he just wants to be friendly. So let's be friendly to
Oh,
him.
no, I'm
Okay, sorry.
that's my question.
Oh, okay, go. Okay.
Well, again, I've just made it a point to meet all the newcomers. So if I ever needed assistance one day, they might be willing to help me in return.
You know what? I love that idea. That's right up my alley. My name is closer to this. You can call me Colleen.
Colleen it is.
How to say that.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Guru Dama.
Nice to meet you, Gugu Dama.
Yeah.
From the Gugu Dama family, correct?
One and only.
Oh, nice. I do think I remember something from me back in my time in the kingdom. I'm Zaire. Pleasure to meet you.
There?
Zaire. Zaire.
Is there? How long have you been here, or do you know?
I've been here going around, I want to say 30 years or so.
Oh wow.
That's a long time there.
It is.
What have you done?
Built my cabin. Met a couple of people around, but I don't tend to venture too far from my cabin and my area, only to hunt and find food.
So you like have plants or farms?
No, I hunt. There's plenty of wildlife around.
Can we start walking to the cabin with him as we continue conversing?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's about a 5-minute trek from the dock to the cabin.
Yeah, I'm gonna before you finish your apple. I'm gonna ask if there's a way that there you could use the apple seeds, maybe grow trees or something.
Yeah, does he grow food? Trade our plants or our
You don't know he's got, but I mean that's he doesn't want to use that more.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I know we're gonna have lots of seeds from the apple. We'd be able to put those to use.
I'm not particularly green, shall we say? Although there are some on the island that you might be able to trade those for. Trade with.
I throw the core of the apple on the floor because I have no intention of carrying on seeds. So I'm just like, yeah, like I'm kind of done with it. I'm just kind of keep on following. So. Very oblivious to that whole conversation about the seeds. I'm just like, yeah.
I kind of stomp my boot into the seeds stealthily as we walk past and kind of like cover it with dirt. Maybe spit on it for the
Go ahead and make a nature check. Go ahead and make a nature check.
Right.
You're just using all the different dice.
They look cool. I got 11. Plus 1.
Okay, cool. At a cursory glance, it should work.
Cool. Maybe I'll have another one there.
Right, quite telling at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
And I missed that apple.
It looks pretty good, but
Right. After about 5 or so minutes, you guys make it to his cabin. He invites you in. It's very simple. He's got just a table, a couple of chairs here and there, and then a pad section for his bed, and his fire pit that currently has some sort of
pad section. Like, does he have an actual bed?
No, it's padding on the floor.
Okay.
And a fire pit that currently has some sort of stew simmering on top.
So was he able to pot?
There's a like a cauldron almost.
Okay.
I say thank you so much for inviting us into your home. That looks so delicious. Can we maybe have a bite?
Certainly, that's why I've prepared it. I mean, he'll get 4 bowls and dump a little bit of the stew into each of them, providing you guys with wooden spoons.
Does the stew look like rich and luxurious, or is it like one of those struggles?
It looks like it was hunted and recently prepared.
I'm not about it.
Looks authentic.
It's too rustic for my taste.
Yeah.
I just need the bowl sitting
All right.
I quickly finish mine and then pour
That's
it.
insane.
We split it.
I'll take some of that.
Yeah, we split it.
there. I have it. It's a little too rustic for my taste.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. Is there anything? Do you have any questions for me that I can? I'll do my best to answer them. I can't guarantee anything.
We're looking for some armor or weapons. We need some protection. We don't know what's out here. And we're a little hesitant to ask for help, but we understand that you are now.
Does he have a lot of stuff in his house?
Doesn't appear so.
Yeah, it was like,
Is it worth it? Me beating him up and stealing his house? Like,
No,
Probably not.
okay, there's not like stuff there
Yeah,
that I
this-
can like.
But this is not that interesting.
He's a weak old man.
This is not that. This is not. Yeah, not right now.
Like, he might have a shield on the wall that's made of wood. Maybe.
As for
But he would like he hunts. But how does he hunt?
you don't quite know.
No,
Traps,
I'm asking, like, how does he hunt?
Oh, I
Does he
am
build traps?
versed in the arcane a little bit. I can do enough.
So
Goodbye.
like you do.
Can you teach us anything?
I cannot. I remember how I said I did witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
You might know them more as warlocks. These are that nature.
So,
So you have any? How does arcane?
I do not. That's a subclass you'll pick at level 3.
okay.
So you'll be able to start doing that once we hit level 3.
XP from killing things?
This is milestone.
Okay.
So when you advance the story, you will pick up a level.
Oh.
Yeah. So instead of kill somebody,
Yeah, that's too much to do here.
Well, because then you could just go around murder hoboing like you were trying to do, where it's like, well, I kill this guy. Well, he doesn't really have much.
I wanted to stop. It wasn't
Yeah.
so much. It's more just like kind of a bully mentality.
Yeah,
You know, like how a bully would come in and be like, hey, nice shoes, man.
yeah.
Prison, you have to take the shoes.
So-
That's the kind of vibe I was going for.
Prisoner? Rich prisoner?
Yeah, like, just like stuff. Like, I'm just like, I wrote it, I'm reading today. So, it's like more on the materialistic side. Not so much just like violence. It's not like I woke up and chose violence, but I woke up and chose things.
Violence chose me.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, that's how I hunt. I can kind of sneak around a little bit. I'm not great at it, but I can get the job done. And I don't need bows and arrows. I can make my own ammunition. So,
he's got a little bit of arcane knowledge.
What else is wrong? How many people are on this island?
there's no telling how many people are on this island. The island is this main island here, and then all of the sub-islands around as well.
Wow. Are there ladies here, or is it just men?
There are women around. I mean,
Where are the honey's at, bro?
How many people have you there? Personally?
let's see.
Is there a tavern?
No tavern per se. There are different factions almost on the island. Yes.
Okay.
Well, you'll have to go meet them for them to tell you, but there are about 6 or so, I want to say, and then a few individuals throughout.
Where is a hub of trade for gathering with people?
Well, those are going to be some of the factions.
Where's the
That makes
closest faction?
Can you show us on this map?
Yeah.
Well, here, allow me. I'll go ahead and mark his town as well.
Thank you.
Um, so the nearest faction to here. When you say nearest, do you mean nearest in
Distance travel.
distance?
Time distance.
Time distance. So time. All right.
Yeah, I mean, if it's straight up a impassable mountain, that's not really something we can get.
Well, there's one.
Why?
Here. Why don't I go ahead and mark the different faction hubs on your map, if I can?
That would be appreciated.
Yeah, thank you so much.
There is one that I can't quite mark, as it's underwater. Can't help you with that.
You know where that one, that area is?
The southwesternmost tip. You'll see a little island that looks almost like a sea. It's in between the mainland and that somewhere.
Okay.
Steve over there cheating. You drew a second map over my map.
Could you just repeat what you just said? I kind of spaced out. See?
In the southwestern corner, you'll see an island that almost looks like a sea.
I don't know if it's north.
Okay.
What's that?
The southwest, you said?
Yes.
Or the southwest? Okay, thank you. Okay, what about it?
That is where the underwater city. In between that and the mainland is where the underwater faction is.
Good to know.
So,
Kind of far away from where we are.
yeah, north
We're on
forward.
the opposite side of the island. We were coming up over here, remember that?
Is that what we can?
Yeah, we were going around that tip. We're probably landed somewhere in there.
So where's the?
The underwater sea kayaking over here.
Okay, so they're gonna go back.
Yeah, I just need to see where it goes to tap.
Well, I think I can speak. I wasn't able to get all this out of
It's actually a decent throw.
it.
So those are the ones he can mark for you.
And that's.
Okay, yeah, the cabin's over here. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
So, this is the cabin. And is this carrot, is that an faction?
That's a mountain.
Okay.
But yes, he said he was going to mark the factions, so you assume that there's a faction there.
Okay.
Alright, and there's a square,
Mm-hmm.
that's a faction.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's something that looks like a tree, that's a faction. And this looks like a, yeah, I'm gonna guess it's some kind of a tiki.
Mm-hmm.
That's a faction. Can you tell us which factions these are?
Yeah, can you tell us anything?
All right. So
These factions are their names?
there are those few. You've got the underwater one, which I can't mark. I'm not exactly sure where that is. I've not visited that one myself.
Uh-huh.
However, the mountain,
Mm-hmm.
that is a group you'll find dwarves and dark elves and things of that nature. They tend to gather there. What exactly are you trying to learn about these factions now?
At first one, I just want to know names.
Just as much as we can. Information is power, we just need to go. We just need to know where we need to go. Because we don't know anything.
All right.
If you have names for, dwarves and elves, that's one thing. I'd like to know.
Is the tree wood elves?
Not necessarily. The tree is a druid grove.
The one that looks like a tree is
The one that looks like a tree is a druid grove.
And the square?
The square is the tower. You probably saw that on your way in, maybe, maybe not. That is where you'll go if you would like to earn some materials and gamble. Although, be very prepared for what you'll have to do.
Yeah, let's not go there till yet. That's something.
It sounds like Vegas.
Yeah.
Right. And what can we get in the Druid Grove?
What can you get?
What do they do? What's their
So their purpose would be better explained by them, but they are there to protect. I would call it an artifact.
See, my ears kind of perked up at
So
you.
we're guarding the Druids.
they're guarding an artifact?
Does that mean that in the mountains, that's where the dwarves and elves are doing mining? Who wants to do ice? Nice.
I would recommend for you to go to the TV first if you'd like a little bit more of this information. I don't know. Yes, I don't know much about the history of this island.
Where's the TV?
TP.
TV.
Tent.
Where's the TV?
That is. Those are nomads. That is their main hub. There's almost always one of their tribes there, although they do wander around quite a bit. I have made a good friend there.
No? What's
One moment. His name escapes me at the moment.
escapes me? And is that with an E or I?
Funny.
He's like, that's what it is.
TV segment, get that.
Hey, I'm over.
I've got a little money going on that.
No, you did.
This is the most annoying.
What's this over here? Is that the dock? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I can't find that.
You get his name?
Yeah, I can't find it. For whatever reason.
I'll just write down who gave us the name.
I'm gonna say escapes me.
His name escaped me.
I have his name, and I'm gonna use it,
I'm gonna call him Escape.
but I just can't quite.
Escape me.
Fighting.
Ah,
Escape me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
You'll have to go and speak with him a
so
little bit.
maybe we don't know if the dwarves can mine or anything. What is this thing that looks kind of like
Like a pyramid?
The ziggurat. Yes.
How do we spell that?
That is. Actually, that's where a bunch of lizard folk hang out.
Lizard folk.
That's something. It sounds like the other islands, we're gonna have to get a boat or something to get over there.
Yes, that's
So-
more. Dios. You're gonna want to speak to Dios up at the Nomad Gathering.
Deals.
Dios. D-I-O-Z.
D-I-O-Z, deals.
Diaz escapes me. Okay.
So I think we should maybe.
Anything anyone knows about the lizard folk?
Be careful with who you speak to.
Mm-hmm.
They're not all friendly.
You're the local world.
yeah, I see it. Is George Bush there?
The satire island.
It's like, I'm the leader of the lizard folk, George Bush. It's like,
Anyway, so I think we should possibly have the druids to get maybe just talks.
Yeah, they're next on
See if we can take
the. Well, there's what you know, let us stay for the night, get a cool night's rest. And,
It's currently 9 in the morning, so I don't know if that's.
okay. So yeah, I guess we just need to figure out which way to go. Do we have a compass or any way to
Let's go east.
tell which way
West.
anything is, or is it basically
Follow the sun.
Follow the sun. If you exit here, you're gonna go right. But that's about all I can say.
I kind of get the gist that, we got what we got.
But it's 9 a.m. and we've got the sun to
9 a.m. Sun rises in the east, sets in the west. So we go towards the sun.
No.
No, we
Right.
don't. The
Okay.
sun with the sun right back.
Back in the morning.
Yes, there you go. That's what I would
So
say.
about how long would it take us
It's astronomy.
Whatever, man.
How long would it take us I just put this in front of the camera.
Yeah, it's been there for a little bit.
Right, so, how long would it take us to get to the druid camp that you expect?
If you're going to the druid camp, maybe about half a day, a little longer.
So we should be there a little after lunch?
Somewhere around. You'd probably be there closer to dinner time.
Okay.
Can we?
For reference, it's about a day and a half's travel from one end of the island to the other.
This is about a quarter of the way in.
Yeah, about a third to a quarter.
So, do you have any excess soup that we could take on our journey?
You're welcome to it, although keeping it warm and keeping it in the pot might be difficult.
Do you have anything to carry it in?
You cannot have my pot. My pot.
He'll die for that, bro. He's gonna die in this hill.
Do you have a bathroom? In the house?
No.
What does he have in the house that I can pretend to get distracted with? I forgot my jacket upstairs. Let me go grab it.
Mm-hmm.
This guy sounds like in that thing. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I take actually?
It's like a few days from jail. He's gonna just stop you stealing.
Can you?
He's like,
Why don't you talk about and just distract him?
He's like the guy on the dirt.
I haven't
All
made
I need is this ashtray.
What's
That's
that?
all I need. Just this ashtray. This ashtray in this chair. This ashtray in this chair. That's all I need.
I have a good idea. I'm already making a cloak, right? He has a bed. It's very important.
You know what's still stuff me on his bed?
Exactly. Oh, that idea is gross to me. This dude's been sleeping on it.
Yeah.
I'd be more.
I'm not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I want to investigate his bed and money this.
Like, so, like, what does he got stuffed with?
There's no telling from this angle.
Oh,
I think it'd be fine.
Can I ask him something?
Mhm.
Does he have like a tobacco pipe or any kind of tobacco
Oh yeah.
going on that I could
That's
like
important. We need stuff.
chain smoker? Gugu Dama chain smoker. Yeah, all the stuff.
Right.
Gugu Dama ain't afraid.
I do not do that. And although I am aware there are certain, shall we say, materials that you can make things of that nature.
Like an
With.
apple.
While he was talking, I want
Yeah,
to.
I give a shit about that. Tossing the apples, man.
While they're conversating with him, I
I'm
want to get behind him by his bed.
So at this point, he's staring, or he's looking at the bed corner. The way you guys are set up with the table's in the northwestern corner, to say, and the
Okay.
bed's on the southwestern
So, did
side
you
of
buy
this
the
room.
bed, or how did you come by that thing?
Oh,
It
just
looks handmade.
finding cloth and straw to stuff it with.
So do you need to replace the straw on a regular basis, or?
Yeah, every so often, but it's not that big of a deal.
One we thought in that fire. What do you do for
You can sell your door.
Yeah, well now
I'm having red flags.
I'm getting red flags from Sylvan. Man, big red flag. I'm a good person. Like I understand green. but
Are you?
My green is more like shallow green,
Yeah.
like jewels and shiny
Mhm.
things. Like what is your? Yeah, what is
Honestly, like in the beginning of the video games, I'm just loot all.
Yeah.
What is your alignment?
My alignment.
Chaotic stupid.
I was about to say, I put cool points as
Alright,
mine.
Yeah.
I did. It's such cool points.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Alright, let's just go. I'm alone. He's
So
good.
yeah, we need to go. I want to make. I think we can make it there. It sounds like by a little after
By nightfall, yeah.
By night. It takes a day and a half to get across the whole island. So
Yeah.
it's like, how to get it? It takes a day to get from the docks to.
A day and a half.
A day and a half to get from the docks to.
I'm assuming from longest point to longest point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a day and a half. This would
It'd be
be.
about a quarter. So you're going to the Druid Grove, right?
Yeah.
It'd be about half a day or so.
Yeah. So
Sure.
that comes there after lunch, not that.
Oh, half a day is like 3 hours. If there's lunchtime, that means from here to here, or from here to here. It's not 3 hours. It's probably like 8 or 9 hours.
Yeah, it's half of a day. About
Half of like a 24-hour day, not
Yeah.
just like a daytime like lunch.
Yeah.
It's not like
Okay.
business hours.
no.
So okay,
Okay.
So it's gonna take us about 8 hours to get over there.
Just about.
Yeah, so let's
Alright, yeah, let's go to the druid camp.
go ahead and start walking this.
I was thinking about it.
Is there a trail or is it basically?
It is untamed wilderness.
So as I'm leaving, I do the finger gun thing to Zare. And does it win him over? Does he think I'm cooler? Can I roll for that?
Can I roll for that?
Can I roll to see if he thinks I'm cool after my
Persuasion, right?
Yeah, is it like a persuasion?
Yeah,
check?
go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Can we call this a cool guy points?
I'm going to
Like,
Yeah.
can I make a cool guy
Go ahead and make a cool guy check.
What's a cool guy check?
Add your charisma
I
bonus.
got a 1.
He doesn't make me cool. He likes to show
my charisma.
Unfortunately, he's really hard to gauge at this point in time.
So I'm going to mimic and do the cool points as well.
Dude, that's
Ask for your assistance.
I compliment him on his voice.
Mm-hmm.
so
Go ahead and make a cool guy check. Go
So I
ahead
can
and
roll the damage.
roll and add your charisma modifier.
So I got
87.
9 plus.
This is a 6, right? This is a dash underneath?
Yeah.
That's a 6 and a 7 plus. So just a great 9.
Yeah.
Still very difficult to read, but with time. With time.
Yeah. Good meal. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Alright, walking, yeah.
Alright, so what is our terrain?
He's not horse.
No.
Trees. We're looking at.
It's mainly forest, like kind of a hilly forest. That makes sense. There are hills throughout, but it's forest land.
So like big trees, medium-sized trees, thin trees, big trees.
It's not like a dense forest, right?
It's not super. It's not jungle
It's like
dense.
walkable. Like,
Yeah, it's like
how
it's
far
like
out
woods.
can I see through the woods? Like, do I have a clear line of vision, or am I like tree?
You have a clear line of vision for probably about 40 or so feet. After then, it kind of just yeah.
I'm worried about getting lost trying to get to the druids.
As we're talking, I kind of socialize with these guys, asking them questions about like where you're from. And we don't have to do all that because we talked about it beforehand. But just kind of, I want to know Cylinder and I want to know Pulley. So like I get a better grip of where you're from, what your lineage is, and same for you, and I share as well.
We can go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we kind of did it earlier. Did we?
Yeah, we kind of did. I don't think we went over backstory though.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, we did that kind of out of stream, and that's kind of why I'm saying we can do it again.
Yeah, let's go over backstory.
Just over, like, and you don't have to share a ton.
Yeah,
but
like
a little bit.
I'm a high elf, and I was at court last year, and I was getting ready to go to court this year, and so I don't know what happened when all this happened. So it's kind of I'm thinking maybe it must be politics. Somebody didn't want me back to court, and that's why I'm here. Although I can't figure out who it was unless it was.
You chambermaid, didn't you?
Well, of course, but I don't think she was the one that got me in trouble. Maybe her, maybe. No, maybe just her. Or maybe.
Jeez, man, it's your damn fault. You couldn't keep on your face.
Well, they keep coming after me. I don't know what I must do. Say no?
That is an option. Well, I mean, I was raised kind of in an orphanage at a young age, but yeah, I guess
I kind of scoff when he says orphanage. I'm like, it's really rude. Sorry.
No,
It's really rude.
It's like I had one backstory, and now it doesn't really exactly fit.
We'll proxy your backstory till you get it going.
Yeah,
Then you'll get it going.
You go.
I'm from the Gugu Dama family, youngest son, kind of a loafer, just laying around, spending money's what I'm good at. Trained in a lot of stuff, like, a lot of nobility have like that sense of like, oh, their parents got the best tutors, the best whatever. I kind of did the stuff I like, aka like fighting and fencing, and kind of for skip the rest. So I have a good understanding of history and fighting. Kind of what I do, yeah. And I'm all about cool points.
Cool points are out the window, man.
So I was raised in an orphanage until one day I burned it to the ground, and then I was discovered by my kingdom that I haven't that they discovered me that I was an heir to the
Can you roll to see how cool the burning story is? Like, like how impressed I am by your story? Like, roll a 20 and
Go ahead and make a
performance? Not performance. Let's see what the cool points are.
yeah for all my stuff over here.
I'll just roll.
Yeah, just roll.
What we got? 16.
Oh, bro. Oh, bro.
Yeah, man.
Roll cool. That's what you're telling me. See what's going on. 15. Oh, about it. All right.
About it. Heck
Oh,
yeah.
man.
It was good.
I'm impressed by these guys. The camaraderie's there. The cool points have come up.
So after they took me into the team, I kind of like took advantage of all the tutoring, and was a mischievous person for in and out of jail, in and out of heists, and whatever. My parents are not proud of me.
You're welcome.
Oh yeah. my family is not proud of me. I mean, so they don't talk about me too much. So I kind of ran away and just been doing my own thing ever since.
Right on. You make like an encounter check, or you need something on the way?
At this point,
Yeah, we're still walking.
you guys
I'm
don't
still
notice anything
No.
currently.
Is my cloak done yet? Like, can I put it on?
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check just to see how good of a quality it is.
Are you making it yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. I also ripped my pants so they're like kind of like George style.
Mhm.
No.
Just name, please. They're short shorts, like Chevy.
12 total?
Yeah.
9 plus 3, you said?
Yeah. That's why I think it's 3.
Yeah. So yeah, it's wearable at this point
Mhm.
after a couple of hours of work.
I'll give you my leg pants.
Dude, yes.
So,
Yes, let's start making a bag.
like a
Out of
little,
his
like a
pants.
little, like pouch.
I put the cloak on and start making a bag out of his pants. He just has like boxes on.
No, I cut the little sleeves.
Oh, he's got like shorts on.
Yeah, so like imagine they're like cut right here, real
Okay.
short.
Yeah.
So like I gave you this much pants, you know? Like,
Yeah.
sleeves. I think you can make some pouches for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I see him making them, I'm like, yo, man, it's nice to have like a pouch.
Yeah, for real, for real.
After about the 3 or so hour mark, you guys do begin getting hungry.
Mhm.
Be about noon.
Can I roll to see if I find a big stick?
I just
Make a perception check.
I'll pull out an apple and start knocking on
All right, go ahead and mark off one of your apples.
Oh, -1 for perception. I am oblivious. So 14. I just want a big stick.
I mean, you're in the forest. There are plenty of sticks around.
So I found a big stick. Like, you know how a child would grab a stick during like in the park?
Well,
or
yeah, but
something?
you're a fighter though. You just kind of like grab a trunk and
That's
you
true.
yank it out.
It's kind of like a brand. It's kind of like a wax on with it. It's
Yeah.
kind of almost like a walking,
Mhm.
or like you know.
Yeah,
You managed to find a decent walking stick, you know?
Yeah, like walking stick I could use them. Not too big because I am a barbarian. More
Yeah.
along like what I would be used to.
Yeah,
Like a
for
razor.
sure. Yeah.
Something light, but like I could like.
It's makeshift, but it could work.
Yeah, it's just a stick. It's nothing
Yeah.
fancy, but it's like good, like strong enough that I feel comfortable
Mhm.
walking / maybe use it for weapons. I'm gonna
Yeah.
add stick to my
Could
inventory.
I get any short sticks and like start like grinding them together?
Yeah, you could start trying to make makeshift, I guess, daggers or short swords.
Yeah.
Chopsticks.
Yeah, I'll tuck the pants around my waist so I don't start making a backpack first. I'm gonna start making that. And with the cloak on. Does the cloak add any damage reduction or anything?
No, it's just
Does it add stealth like with stealth checks or anything?
no, it's just kind of aesthetics.
Cool points, bro.
Okay. Well,
I'm all about the cool points.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you guys are starting to get hungry. You need to eat, and Christopher, you didn't tell me what you were gonna do for.
You eat one or
No, I have not.
I gave them both an apple.
Oh, okay.
All right,
I kind of like.
So you guys are both able to-
Yeah, so I'll eat
go ahead and mark off 2 more apples then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say my seeds when I get done.
I only got 2 more apples left.
All right.
I should have taken more apples.
You're welcome.
I mean, yeah. What would Guru Daman do? He would not take multiple apples. That's what I know.
All right.
I'm like, good. I didn't really think too far ahead.
Yeah, so we're just walking, and I start like whistling like a thieves'
Go ahead and
cant
mark
tune or
3.
something.
Go ahead and mark 3.
Can I teach them a thieves' cant tune?
Thieves' Cant wouldn't really have tunes. Like I said, it's more of like learning to pick up symbols and like almost speaking in code at times.
Where's my link to animals? I was really like any wallet.
Yeah. I mean, you see signs, you hear birds chirping, you
Okay,
hear
that's
little
all.
noises in the wood. At one point, though, cresting about the 5 hour, after walking for about 5 hours or so, I need you three to go ahead and make perception checks.
Yeah, I was also going to ask if we're seeing any animal tracks.
I also have dark vision, like 223.
Mm-hmm.
13.
What was the question?
Perception check.
No,
18 plus
I just got a -1, so that's 13.
1.
I got a 2. And plus 6. So I got an 8.
All right.
Yeah, they can get some snack and
Well, before you do that, Christopher, you do notice right about the time you start looking for tracks, you see what appear to be like rabbit tracks, but bigger,
Big rabbit
Like
track.
big rabbits?
big rabbit tracks, and not too far off in the distance at that point, you do see what appears to be a fairly large rabbit,
How large?
human sized.
Oh, it's like a big boy.
Mhm.
That's straight up on it?
It's not a rabbit; it's more like a rabbit folk, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like an anthropomorphic
Mhm.
rabbit man.
It's like a werewolf
tall is it?
rabbit.
It's about humanoid size, so somewhere around
So-
5 foot tall.
See, because I fancy myself as Google Demont being 6'4",
Mm-hmm.
280 odd pounds. You know, I'm kind of built.
As he squares up on it, maybe hide behind a tree.
Google
Google Demont's do Google Demont.
You don't see it yet.
Oh, I don't see it.
No, you
Oh,
guys don't see it yet.
I see it,
Okay.
and so would it be history or animal handling
Are
to?
you gonna report?
I'm asking to be able to know more about rabbit foot.
To like figure out what this is and all that.
Yeah, would that be religion, history, or animal handling?
Nature.
Yeah, religion.
Go ahead and make a nature check for me.
Okay.
I need a character sheet.
Fine.
Yo, what do we do with those extra character sheets? Do you see them anywhere?
Sounds over.
If you find them, hand me one, please. Yeah, just so we can look at the stats. Skills.
No.
It happens.
Yeah, I don't mean to offend or insult anyone.
No.
There's gonna be stuff going on. Hold on.
Yeah, like people talking back and forth is what makes this game.
So, nature roll 5. What about insight or animal handling?
With each roll you try to redo, it's going to be harder and harder, right? So you think about it for a minute, and you're not exactly sure what this could. It looks humanoid,
Mm-hmm.
and it's naturally occurring, but you don't know where rabbit folk might come from or anything like that.
Okay. And I just need one.
Currently, yes.
Alright. Before I do anything else, I'm going to be aware that there may be more than one.
And their way to
Really marking inspiration to have these guys to
just kind of keep an eye out, see if they see anything interesting.
animals.
Actually, no, I want to use my bardic inspiration. And you said the rabbit is within 60 feet?
Yeah, about 40 or so feet away, give or take.
wondering, want to do that or handling or spellcasting. Because I have not. I don't think I put in any spells yet.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Next year, I didn't catch that.
It's not my problem.
Yeah.
Nice things.
No, I just put it in the sheet. So I want to. For now, I'm gonna watch, but I do want to cast the charm spell. I don't think it's
Mhm.
so give me a moment to pull that.
All right. Yeah. As far as you choose, not quite. No. It seems to be walking in the same general direction you guys are.
Facing us, or does it just happen to be going the same direction?
It's walking ahead of you about the same pace, give or take.
So it's facing away from us.
Mm-hmm. You don't see it either.
Okay.
But it's going the same general direction we're going.
Mm-hmm.
And does it look like you just happen to start to cross paths?
Yeah, about that.
Okay.
And I want to kill it.
There it is. I don't know if we need to kill it. We need to talk to it though.
John just arm wrestling.
Well, it might have some more fur for me. And I had a question about survival.
Mm-hmm.
So while I'm making these daggers, is that a survival check or is that a sleight of hand check?
It depends on what your goal is. I would probably, for sharpening sticks into something usable, I would probably say survival.
Okay. Sleight of hand is just for like more cosmetic items.
Yeah, sleight of hand would be more to like pickpocket or do something really quickly with your hands.
Okay.
And I did use it for the cosmetic, but it probably should have also been survival.
Okay, no worries. I just wanted to clarify that
Yeah.
because I didn't want to. I mean, it's not like you said, it's not a big deal because it's cosmetic.
Yeah.
But the daggers are.
Mhm.
If I end up using it.
Yep. And survival is going to be more as well for like tracking and things like that. Anything to do with.
Not much, they haven't asked to my spell.
The man that was so intent on making sure we silenced our phones forgot to silence his iPad.
Well, no, it's the. It's the wrong gun.
All I'm hearing is excuses. Yeah.
I can get to the spell.
No, we don't have an actual spell book. We have a book with all of the spells in it,
Right.
but there's no just pure spell book.
Right.
All right. So, Christopher, while you're in the meantime,
Animal friendship.
all right. Let me go and look up that spell real quick.
This spell lets you convince a beast that you made no harm. Choose a beast that you can see within range. It must see and hear you. If the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, the spell fails. Otherwise, the beast must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed for the spell's duration.
If you or one of your companions harms the target, the spell ends.
So you cast the spell. So go ahead and mark the spell off.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it doesn't seem to take.
Well,
It doesn't see it.
well, but in casting that, I say, well met, young sir. How are you hopping along today?
Oh, I didn't see you there. I'm well. How are you?
Well, we were trying to figure out how to get to the Druid Grove, and that's our paths kind of cross. I'm not sure if we're heading in the right direction.
Oh, yes, the Druid Grove is a little farther down this way. I'm actually headed back to my camp myself.
Oh, where's it at?
It is the meeting grounds, the gathering grounds.
For the Druid camp?
No, I'm not part of the Druids.
Oh.
I'm with the Nomads.
Oh, okay.
It's
That's where we're trying to get to eventually. We figured the Druid Grove was on the way.
it is a little bit, depending on where you're coming from. Of course.
Oh, well, we're new here, so we're just trying to figure out
Ah.
the lay of the land.
Yes. Well, pleasure to meet you. Good luck on your travels.
My name's Paul Ramirez. You can call me Floyd.
I'm Dylan. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you all. And you, sir?
I kind of look down on this dude. I'm just gonna do like this stuff and
I'm Jarla. Jarla. Jarla.
Is it a man or a woman?
Seems to be a female.
Alright.
From the Flame Tribe.
My friend.
Mm-hmm.
And no man.
Yep.
So what brings you, I mean, you're headed to the meeting grounds? Is that at the government place or someplace else?
Yes, we have a tribal meeting grounds where the tribes sit and rest and regroup, exchange information, whatever it might be. That I'm heading back to. I was just at Quaisel's, getting a few ingredients for potions and what have you. Oh, yes, he is a turtle down at the southernmost.
Down near the Olympians?
Can I go on with that?
Sure.
Okay, hold on. I think that's a ridiculous trade.
I'm very
Well,
So, down near the,
Yes, down on a bit of a peninsula.
Gold jewels.
Down,
Is
not,
that the seashell island?
no. He's down south in kind of a bend near another,
Oh, down near the lizard pool?
sort of, a little more north of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll mark it if I can. And of course, if you're ever looking for other maps, we do have a cartographer
Really?
that stays around our camp.
I love photography. That's one of my specialties. I'd love to be your photographer.
We love seeing new faces and meeting new people.
Right there in the south, kind of,
Is that this one?
yeah, the side bend, yeah.
I'm gonna ask this person who the strongest person on the island is.
The strongest person we have. Well, I imagine you need to go to the tower to find that out. However, Dios can hold his own.
Yes. So
He's a little older, but he can manage.
This is,
the leader of the nomads.
yes.
Or the other guy's contact, remember?
Yes, that's his contact.
He has
That's Dios Escamine.
Yeah. I'm pretty uninterested in this right.
Let me ask you this: Are any of you versed with the druidic arts?
I'm a study of all of things.
Can you be more specific?
Are any of you druids yourselves?
No.
Then you might find it a little difficult to talk with the druids. They're a very reclusive bunch.
Well, like I said, I study a lot.
What are the numbers at?
What do you mean? The number of them? I'm not sure. I've never been allowed in the tree.
And I know many languages, so
I want to heist the tree.
I want to see it.
Heist. And have an artifact in the middle of the tree is probably it's a super cool powers.
Well, I've got a couple of languages.
I got I speak Dwarvish and Elvish.
I speak Abyssal, Common, Elvish, Infernal, and Decan. I don't know if those were given.
Yeah, I need you to start teaching me who you can after this situation.
Okay.
Can I
But-
do that?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's something
Okay.
it is something that happened along the way. But yeah, I'm curious to meet the druid. I was like, is he going to be at the meeting grounds that if you're headed to presently, or is he at the druid grove?
I'm sorry, what?
You said for us to talk with. Was it Diaz? You said
Dios is Leonin, the leader of our nomadic tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
The party.
no, the nomadic tribe.
Oh,
All of them. I just came from Quaisel's hut down there.
mm-hmm.
I'm off specialty map. He's a potions expert. Um, and then you were the one that mentioned the Druid Grove.
Yes. Well, we just figured it was the next place. We just got here, so we're trying to figure out, what all there is and how to get where. So.
Well, I mean, walking is the easiest way to get where.
Well, of course it is. Of course it is. We're just trying to figure out where we want to walk to and why we want to be there. And, like I said, we just got here. We don't even have the shirts that we have on our backs when,
I mean, his cloak for the barbarian.
Well, singing.
How cool does the cloak look?
His cloak?
Yeah.
Looks like raggedy. Like, that's what it was. It was just a bunch of
There's no
raggedy
cool
breathing
points
clothes.
involved
No cool points.
Is there any way to stealthily, like, rip some fur off of the ground?
I'm gonna go out and say no. There is no way to stealthily rip fur from somebody.
I
Hey, what's that over there? I can just like half the skin.
Yes, there we go. He's got the idea. I would brush the fur. I was like, you have such a nice coat. Oh my gosh. I was like, and so I start brushing it.
Hair on the hair.
Given that you just met her, it's probably a little out there to go and start petting the rabbit that you just met. At this point,
Can I stealthily pet the rabbit?
yeah, I don't think.
Alright, no. Yeah, alright, never mind. I was trying to get some string. She looks like she has string.
Well, so, I guess you know where we can find string or something like that? Like, where,
Once, you could fashion some out of vines, but you wouldn't be able to do that here. You'd have to go down to the South Island below. Yeah, the southernmost island.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I've not been there,
Okay.
but I do know it is a jungleized island. Are you aware of a dragon?
There's a dragon?
Yes.
Oh, where's the dragon?
Yeah, we need to stay clear of that.
He flies around a lot. I've not. Yeah, just be careful. Just be wary of the dragon.
Just fly around.
He tends to stay more to the south, but I'm not sure. Again, I haven't stopped and asked him how he's been, so
Yes.
I'm not quite sure.
Does he have a name or do we know?
I've not quite stopped and asked him anything.
I'm
So
like completely tuned out at this point. Maybe the moss stopped listening after she did tell me how many people are in there for fighting purposes.
oh, I didn't even know you asked that question.
Yeah, I was asking what the numbers are.
Oh, the
For
druid.
the one that we're going to.
Oh.
Well, no, you see,
I did, yeah. That's what I'm saying. You told me she's never
Yeah.
been in, and I just like.
Okay.
You said that Basil or Dios is pretty strong.
Yeah.
Pretty
So
strong.
after that convo, I tuned out. I'm just like hoping something was sick.
So, like, we need to, like, other, like, tools, like, we can either find tools or make tools, is that something anybody does?
At the nomadic tribe, we do have a few tool makers. They're not great, but they get the job done enough for different things. Given that we travel around the islands, we kind of know different areas where we can go and make trades there, back and forth. So.
Well, not, if get together with your photographer, because, that's, again, that's one of my passions, is figuring out the maps and drawing them, so.
I'd be happy. I'm sure I'd be happy to have you.
And are they at your meeting grounds today?
They should be. Dios, the cartographer, and the necklace maker don't usually leave.
Do you mind if we tag along? Because we don't know that. We just gotta head out to see where we can find.
I was headed back there, so you're welcome to tag along with me. Sure.
Alright.
I'll introduce you to Dios myself.
Awesome. Hey guys, we're gonna, sorry to interrupt you, Paul, but, we're gonna follow, sorry, tell me that again? Julia?
Jarla.
Jarla.
Jarla. We're gonna follow Jarla, she's gonna take us to, where we might be able to find at least a pin so that we can line on our maps and,
So we're gonna go to the nomad.
we're going.
See, I think we should go to the druid spot first.
you know, what, she's gonna introduce us to the.
I think we should circle around back to the Druid place.
But the druids are people. They're animals.
She's an animal.
You know, she's been really friendly.
I'm getting more of a sense of like we should go to the druids.
And she's saying that the Druid people like are.
This is
I don't know.
closer to the druids. And we don't, and we, the druids speak some kind of druidic language.
Yeah, we can't communicate yet.
I
The
don't-
only option we have with Druids is to go into cover tonight, try to take their art.
Are we closer to the druids?
No, we're meeting.
No, you're closer to the Druid Grove. The Druid Grove is on the way to the meeting place.
Yeah, so we're really close to the druids, and they're gonna be humans.
Well, let's take a look at it.
Well, I mean, we can pass, regardless, she knows where the druid place is. We
Well, it
know.
seems like there's some sort of issue that like she's not allowed in. So was that whether her being druid,
She knows
not a
where it
druid?
is.
She said she had never been inside the tree.
So is that because she's not a human, or is that because she's not a druid?
There's lots of things she's not interested in. I mean, ask her the question if you're there.
I thought, are they hostile to, elf folk?
They, who was they?
Druids?
Druids, they're not hostile per se. They're just not friendly unless you're one of them. They're not very welcoming.
By one of them, you mean human?
A druid.
So it's New York City. It's fine.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing.
Get over it.
We'll pass by the Druid Grove, and she can point it out to us so we'll know where it is. And it's on the way
Uh-huh.
to the meeting place where Dios is sitting.
Yeah, let's stop by and do a perception check. When we get to the.
Yeah, when we get to the tree, we're gonna want to make note of it
Yeah, look around.
and see what we can find out, but then continue on to.
There might be a tavern there. That we might be able to find something.
Let's meet with Dios
Yeah.
and the photographer.
Yeah.
So we can figure out where we're
The
at.
thing is they're nomads. So
Yeah.
who's gonna be there?
Well,
She doesn't know.
she just said it. She knows that the three people that are going to be there with me. They don't generally leave. The filmmaker,
Mm-hmm.
the Dios, and the person that has the photography.
It was the cartographer, Diaz, and the jewelry maker.
Yeah, As if you got some gold, you might be able to get something made out of the gold and some metals to dagger or something.
With a dagger.
Oh god, that's so soft. It's gonna bend this.
Yeah.
But,
Sure.
All right, so are you guys coming with me?
yeah, if you want to swap them, come along.
All right.
Wait, so we're going straight to Nomad? We're not stopping by there?
No, well, can you point out the tree?
Oh, you can't possibly miss it. It's like like. So you know how tall these trees normally are? This is like what, 30 feet off the ground, 10, 20, whatever. It's like 10 times the size. You can't miss
People
the
are
tree.
like people are living on it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
It's not gonna be dragging rules.
The point is to make sure that we go by it.
yes. We can go by it, but
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
you can't possibly miss it.
I'm just like, wait.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, yeah. Let's journey along with,
And as we go by, I'm gonna start practicing like stealthily, just staying in the back, like so that I can basically come upon and always looking in the darkness.
we were,
I'm basically trying to protect the group rather than you being aware.
kind of bring up the.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be preparing some kind of conversation with,
Darla.
Darla, and, ask her things like how long she's been around, how old she is she married?
Not married. She's somewhere between her 20th and 30th year.
Okay.
She's been on the island. She was born on the island. Not,
Trying to David Rabbit pull predictiveness? Alright, man. And I don't know how those high elves roll, but here, what else? We like other what else?
after another 2 or so hours of hopping / walking, you guys do come across the Druid Grove. Yeah, as I said, it's a very large tree.
Is it just a tree, or is it like a settlement?
It is just the tree.
No settlement around it.
No settlement around it. The tree does have a doorway that does have people standing out in front of it guarding. They look buff.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to you.
All right.
I'm walking up.
They have metallic looking spears in their hand with a crystalline spearhead.
I'm gonna tell everybody to hang back and I'm gonna talk to these fellows.
What he's talking about, do we know what kind of language they speak?
He's not spoken to them yet, so as of yet, no.
So I go up and say, like your typical, and I said, try to start up a dialogue with them. Do they understand what I'm saying in common?
One of them glances down at you, but then immediately stares back ahead. You said you were 6'4"?
Yeah, dude, I'm a beast.
One of them is the one that stares down at you is a Goliath, so he's a little taller. The other one is a human, so he's actually a little shorter than you.
Yeah.
Somewhere around 5'8" or so.
Yeah.
But the Goliath just glances down and stares right back ahead. He doesn't respond.
I try to do like something in Elvish and Dwarvish. Do they respond to you? Those?
No response.
And they're probably gonna be like the British Guard.
And common, they don't.
Can we do?
Try to just open the door and go in, or are they in front of it?
They're not in front of it, they're off to the side. But the second you try to reach through, they cross their spears.
Oh, okay.
Can I tell if they have any daggers on their back?
Not from this angle.
Like,
Tree full of them.
Yeah.
Run away. Like, run away.
no,
I-
okay,
Not those two.
What I wanted to know is what language they're speaking.
They're speaking Druid.
I could.
They haven't said anything, right?
I asked something in Abyssal, and then I asked it in Infernal.
No response.
Can I use these camp?
Thieves' Cant isn't like a spoken language.
Yeah, you're basically.
Yeah, it's slight hand gestures. Every so often you get like code.
Just the tree with the door?
There is a doorway and it is a very large, again, like 10 times bigger than your normal tree.
Doors?
Tree. No, the tree. It's just a very large tree. Like imagine what are they, the redwoods?
You're talking about like some Yggdrasil stuff from like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some like giant trees.
Eldritch tree.
Can I get to the side of the tree and like stealthily like look behind them to see what they have, like if they have any other weapons besides the spear?
Go ahead and make a stealth check. So sneak.
Look at that one. 9 plus 6, 5. So
Mm-hmm. So 9 plus 5, you said?
yeah.
What was that? 14.
Yeah.
Okay. As far as you know, you're hidden. You sneak around and look. The Goliath appears to have some sort of axe on him. It's kind of strapped to his back, a very large axe. The human has what looks to be a hilt of a sword with no blade.
Yeah, we're gonna take the sword for sure.
No blade?
No
Yeah,
blade.
that's a magic sword right there, buddy. We're gonna take that sword for sure.
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
This is while he's talking to him and I'm with the rabbit.
I'm trying to engage them in some sort of conversation.
So I'm just talking with the rabbit.
You know, we're not letting this
The
happen.
rabbit's not saying anything, I'm gonna do this now.
The rabbit's not talking to you. No, not at the moment.
I'm gonna go get some food.
What'd you get?
I got a 1 through
Oh
that thing.
god.
That's
A natural one.
yeah.
That's gonna be a crit fail.
I don't suppose I could use extra heat. Your proficiency bonus is doubled.
For any ability check you make for 2 chosen proficiency. You can do additional. I don't know what that
You
is.
should have already selected those.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that's so you have proficiency in skills.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna reselect 2 of those skills to double your proficiency bonus with. That would not, however, counteract a natural 1.
One is like a natural, like critical failure.
Yeah, it's a critical, and a natural 20 is usually the opposite, where it's a critical success.
Is I want to mold it. That's alright. It's alright. What happens?
At about the time you go to take the sword, he reaches back to grab, make sure it's still there. After seemingly notice someone has disappeared from your group, and latches onto your hand. Pulls you around, this is the human, pulls you around front, and says something to you in a language that you don't understand.
Is that it?
That's at the moment.
Okay.
Is he drawing his weapon?
Wait. Can we wait for him to come back?
Yeah. At this point, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick.
My God first. I'm so upset.
Are we getting close to the stopping point?
Yeah, we're getting that.
Okay.
Depends on how this next conversation goes.
What do you have to say? I got this. Yeah. I'll go on. Hey, bad news.
What's up?
I might be dead.
Did you not hear?
Yeah, they could have won.
Yes, I heard you got
I got
That was 3, that's 4. What are you talking about?
No, but when you roll a 1, it just ends up being.
Well, no, that's on the new rules, but
That's how I've always played. Is when 1 was like you disregarded everything else. It was just like an utter failure.
well,
And 20, unless it's like a super difficult. That's how I roll.
That's on the.
I'm gonna try to stab his eyes with my 2 fucking daggers.
Well, what did they do?
He grabbed my hand and pulled me
Pulled
from
in front. Yeah, because
So,
and just said something in a language none of us understood.
I didn't hear you.
I don't know if you're in listening or are you? You're right
I'm,
behind us, right?
I'm with the rabbit.
Yeah, like right behind us, I imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
But I don't know what language they're speaking in order to know how to respond.
Yeah, we just had to wait for you guys to see.
Yeah. So.
I wanna know how this ends. I wanna know what happens.
So I don't know if this is a hard drive or what. But it does not appear to have a. I didn't play that. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, and that's. We haven't met yet, so is that the hard drive? I don't know. I think it's not what I was looking for. It's not work style. But I can plug in the.
Here we go.
Like to the. I haven't played with it yet. But it might work for doing our stuff. Am I still on camera?
Yeah, you're good.
You didn't take the microphone with you to the bathroom?
No.
Why not?
Why would I?
You want to put you know.
Good stuff, man. All the sound.
Mm-hmm.
And those.
So I have one
Was there
more.
any listening range when they said something to
Yeah.
Like, what were they speaking?
It was a language that you didn't understand. Or what language do you speak? Because you might.
Well, I know a lot of languages, that's why I'm asking. And I've got 3 spots that I have to fill.
It sounded like the secret or the protected language of Druidic. Having known a couple of Druids, you've heard the language before,
Okay.
but you do not understand it.
Can I make a history check on the language?
Sure.
What's out the window, boys? 12 plus 6, 18.
18. It is Druidic. You know that it derives from some of the ancient Druidic spells, almost as though they're conversing with nature itself. But aside from that, you don't understand the language.
Does he have the bladeless hilt in his hand?
So,
Not in his hand. He got your hand instead with his free hand instead of a spear.
if I.
So he's got a spear in one hand and pulled you around in front of him with the other.
So they're not speaking Druidic, they're speaking unknown.
They are speaking essentially the secret language of the Druids,
Okay.
but they only teach themselves.
Do they understand Druidic if I spoke it?
Possibly, but you can't learn Druidic unless you are a Druid. It's a class-specific language, or unless someone teaches you Druidic, like outside of that. So it's not one of the languages you can select.
What about Celestial? Would they understand that?
The only way to find out is to speak it.
I
We'll find out.
Infernal and
I'm going to speak out in Celestial.
No response.
Beyond that,
and he's just holding this boy's hand.
Yeah, he's pulled him out in front, said something to him in a language you didn't understand, and let him go at that point.
Wait. He's still holding my. While he's holding my hand, can I try to like? I want that sword. It's fine. Let me go. It's fine. I'll just. No. I'm going for the sword. Can I use
Step down.
sleight of hand or stealth?
You can stealth first, try to sneak around again.
Okay.
But you are right in front of him at this point.
Right, like he's got my hand right here, right? Because I probably was like around this tree, he was facing that way. I went around here to grab his hand. Now I'm facing him, right?
Yeah.
So he's gonna let go of his hand. So maybe as he let go of the hand, I can. Is it on this side? It's on this side.
It's. I assume he would have grabbed whatever hand you were dominant with.
Okay, yeah. So as soon as he lets go, like double down and maybe we can distract him somehow.
Maybe.
But I can't say anything, so I can't ask him that.
you can say whatever you want. I just think he's going to hear you or respond.
Oh, because he can understand me.
Not necessarily. You don't know.
You don't know.
What languages do you speak?
I know several languages. I got 2 spots that I have.
Do you know Abyssal, Elvish, or Infernal?
I don't know.
Okay, so I speak to him in Elvish.
Mm-hmm.
Distract him. I just say distract.
You expect me to do the
I didn't know. Play a song.
I'm trying to get instruments. You're trying to steal the.
Yeah, well, I mean,
No
we
sword.
get a sword. Like, I'm okay with swords, but the sword is not for me. The sword is for him. Then we can cut down trees and make our own weapons.
I get that. That's why I'm trying to get the tools. You don't
Okay, fine.
Well, you're going to bet right now is to say, please don't kill me.
Drop kick this guy and just like totally go
Pro wrestling.
like yeah, just like standing drop kick him. Hopefully knock him out or knock him down.
Do you think we can knock these 2 guards out?
Now, dude, that big boy's in. I'm not a strong, I'm a dexterity based guy, so like, I talk all the talk, but I don't have to.
Alright, so then we're just.
You're about to get your ass kicked.
We're
And
bowing
I'm
out.
going to laugh.
So we're gonna have to bow out.
Mm-hmm. You're about to get your ass kicked. A little loud.
If I get my ass kicked, do I die?
Depends. Yeah, it depends on how much they want you dead.
Alright, I'm doing a sleight check. I took it on distraction, but
I mean, I can heal you later, but
yeah.
I mean, if you're going to do this,
I hope I don't die.
if you do this, it's on you, not me.
Yeah, it is on me. I feel like I didn't get a fair roll with this thing. It's fine. I want to go for another try because I really feel like, I mean,
What are you going to do if you get it? He's going to take it back from you.
if I sleight of hand, put it in my pants, then we run away. He's like, come after my sword.
I'm just gonna.
Uh-huh.
No, yeah, that is pretty stupid. See, no, we have to come back here to one of the artifacts.
we're going back this way anyway. Why don't you back out your nose?
Yeah, okay, I tell him a joke. Like, just kidding. And then I do I don't know, can I make him go to sleep? I don't think that's I don't have any spells.
Yeah, you're a rogue right now in level 1.
Yeah,
Probably not what
you kind of that's why I'm trying to steal something, because that's what rogue's supposed to do, but anyway. No, I mean, if he beats me up, he beats me up. I
Let's
say,
go use the nose and see if you can get some flavor out of it.
okay, I take those and be like, I got you with my other hand. With my other hand, I go, I got you, just kidding. So,
Doesn't. Go ahead and make a performance check.
yeah. Okay.
I'm ready to test you on your performance. The
It
role
was-
of the manager.
Okay.
How are you assisting?
Because I've got
I've been talking to him.
So the way that assistance works is you would have to be doing or saying something in that moment to help with that.
Because I was really in the middle of a convo with him, right?
Hmm.
So like,
For the sake of this, yeah.
You can go along with it, I guess.
Hmm.
He's speaking to me in Elvis, I'm speaking back to me in Elvis.
Yeah.
I did say distract.
Yeah.
In Elvish.
So what are you doing to distract him?
Well, no,
Or-
I'm telling you
To
to
chill.
chill and pull his nose. So
And he was talking in Elvish the whole time, so it's like,
I'm
okay.
telling him to pull his nose.
I don't know if that would constitute an assistance.
For performance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you'd have to be doing something in the moment or saying something in the moment to help
the
that
actual
role, yeah.
physical guy
Not just
nose.
giving the
Unless you were
idea.
like also grabbing his nose.
Yeah.
And it was like a double.
I can get market inspiration on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Maybe that's the basis.
Wouldn't that
So add some ballistics.
Well, do you not? I use six.
Okay, well, I rolled a 20 and got the 9, right?
Yeah, you gotta know.
So, I don't have a D. Is this a decent?
It's the normal die.
I don't see one in my pack.
Oh, here's. Whatever. One.
All right, so that's 10 plus your performance,
A 1.
so 11.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem amused, but he's also not like as angry anymore. So that's a win.
That's good. He's not gonna kill me with his flame sword. Anyway, okay, I back up and then I just stealthily hide behind the tree.
Mhm.
I'm basically
Feel
going to tell
anywhere.
you to rest, so don't do anything more stupid.
Yeah, I think we've kind of gotten solidified our roles. You're leader. I'm jokester. You're charger. I'm
Push it up, bro. Push it up on the block. I got a stick. I could drop kick somebody. Don't push me.
yeah. Oh my dagger's ready yet. Oh, I need a weapon.
Yeah, I think we should just cool off and like dip it out.
Yeah. Let's set up camp. I don't sleep. Or let's like. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's go. Okay.
The at this point, the camp is another about 5 or 6 hours, maybe, of a walk. You guys think you could do it, or do we need to count?
Can I make a cool points roll to see how cool it would be to keep going?
I got 10.
You got a 10.
Your guns to
Mhm.
the
10. So he's adding to it. So I get
Yeah,
I get another one. Right? I get a 17.
we're just making shit up as we go
The
along
cool
now.
points are high. So we're pushing along here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna like an obligatory,
Man,
just like a
yeah.
nonsense list.
yeah.
During the margin.
Yeah.
Man, it would be super cool if this rabbit, if you guys kept going right now.
Yeah, so we're gonna keep
I
going.
want to keep going.
Just gonna have all the different NPCs have cool points too.
Cool points out the window. I'm changing this temporary hit points to cool points on my box. So it says hit points.
So is it your cool points, or are you measuring other people's cool
So
points
right
to
now, I
you?
think I've done 3 cool things, so I'm just gonna keep a tally of cool points.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got 3 cool points right
How
now.
many cool points does the guy get for grabbing him up by one arm?
Who?
The guard.
Oh, for him? That guy got a cool. He lost cool points for that.
Yeah.
I love cool points.
I'm gonna keep track of my stupid points.
There's a finite number of cool points in the world.
And cool points is one of those like metaphysical things, like time and space, where there's no formula. It's just
So
Yeah, that was cool.
stealing an old
That's not
person's
cool.
bed, trying to rip hair off of an alive rabbit.
your cool points are in the ground, bro. Zero.
And trying to draw a fire sword off of a fully armored guard.
You don't even know what the fire. You don't even know what the sword did.
You don't even know if it does that. It's just a,
My opinion of Cylon has gone down in the last like 5 hours.
Dylan runs was villain.
Cool points are
He's
down.
silly.
So you spend the next about 5 hours trying to figure out the cool point system and how it's going to work.
so,
As we walk.
we can be easily entertained.
I'm explaining cool points to the guy. The group.
Yeah. So that that roughs out about 5 hours worth of walking.
My detailed, and my explanation literally doesn't end until we get there.
Yeah.
So it's like the entirety of this.
It doesn't seem like that long of a trip. It seems as though you guys just left the Druid Grove and about 20 minutes later are walking on. But the sun has gone down a dramatic little bit. At this point, it's pressing around 9 o'clock at night. And you guys manage to see, you come across a clearing in the forest. The hills have sort of stopped. So it's flatland.
Okay.
You come across a clearing and you see different tents all around.
And as soon as we see the tents, that's when my conversation ends, and it goes something like this. And that's how cool points work. Oh, look, we're here.
I had no idea there's so much depth to coolness.
Especially in cool points is very funny.
Figure out how to make this an actual mechanic in the game.
We got to. Well, I'm going to bring the did that one, so
So let's figure it out. Yeah, that's kind of my thought.
Like you add,
Well, it's almost like a currency. The cool points, like it's almost like a currency. All right. So yeah, you guys come across this
running to the lack of coolness.
clearing,
Yeah, exactly. Cool people walk.
and Jarla leads you in. You do see sentries, different animals posted around, but because Jarla is leading you, you bypass them immediately. You get the weird looks because you're not one of the animals
Okay.
or like animal people. But no one questions why you're there.
Are they all rabbits? Or
They're not all rabbits. You have lions. There are elephants. There are rabbits,
Is eating an animal
cats.
person considered cannibalism, or just like eat? Like if I were to eat this rabbit, like is it the same as eating the rabbit stew, or is it more like eating?
Are you asking the rabbit lady, or are you asking?
you as the DM? Like,
it's a sexual situation?
no, it's like just like me eating, like.
Go ahead and make an insight check for me.
Okay, yeah. This is kind of one of those things. A 9 plus meat.
It would be more of a cannibalistic rather than a hunting sort of scenario.
Okay, so it's not like you know.
Yeah, it'd be very frowned upon.
It'd be very frowned.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I just want to know.
So, she leads you past, and you see within almost in the middle of the teepee or like the huts, because they're teepees, they're like tent sort of situations. Is one that's slightly larger, although sort of in line with the larger size. So it's a little bit bigger than the larger sized huts.
Okay, so there's a figure.
So it's the biggest one there.
There's like a hut.
It's not like tree size.
It's like a teepee. It's just a little bit bigger. It's not nearly the size of like the tree or anything. It's just a little bit of a bigger hut. She says, "This is where Diaz is."
We have a word
Can you
for
repeat
Diaz.
this?
I certainly can.
I kind of take I'm leading the way at this point. Even though she's been leading us for the last like 9 hours, I kind of like step in front and I'm gonna have a word with this Diaz. And remember, I'm in like these like jort style shorts with like the Daisy Duke
The sleeveless shirts. Yeah.
I'm really sweaty, so I've been glistening.
Mhm.
I'm red.
Can I come up beside him and greet Diaz in
You walk in. She holds the tent open for you guys. You all walk in. Diaz is a very large Leonin, so lion folk.
Oh shoot, I misheard that.
Is he bigger than me? He's taller than me and like more ripped than I am?
He's older. His mane is starting to gray, but he is bigger. Just his size, his sheer size is bigger
So, like, he
than
looks more intimidating than me.
yeah. But
roll for his cool points? Like off the rip?
go ahead and give him advantage on this cool roll.
Okay, so what do you got?
18.
18 and 10. So
18 cool points? Yeah.
Cool point. This guy's cool. I'm like, whoa.
So what brings you all here?
Would we be okay to start getting ready? Right?
Yeah, I'm ending it here.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead. On that note, we're gonna go ahead and pick this up next time.
Okay.
Awesome. So we are, let me write that down so I can do it.
Meeting Diaz. So, thank you all so much for joining us.
Oh, no, great game.
We are not quite sure when we'll be live next. Are we doing weekly or bi-weekly?
I kind of want to do bi-weekly longer sessions like this one.
This was a very short session compared to what. Yeah, this was like Yeah.
Well, it felt like I was here a long time.
Oh, no.
If we're smoother with it, it would be more game time for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the same amount of time.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just, like that.
So like 2 to 6 or so.
Yeah, I can
2
go
to 6 would be perfect
I
for me.
can go later because again, I don't want to jump out in traffic.
Yeah.
So.
Well, but you and I are going to be sitting here tearing down, and they're going to probably go home.
Yeah.
Start going home. Yeah. Yeah.
An hour and 17 minutes, y'all.
Yeah. So join us. I think we decided bi-weekly then for a little bit longer.
So what day?
Join us in Tuesday, 2 weeks from now. I don't know what date that is offhand. Yeah.
All you people out there.
Hey, Twitch, go on the bottom and just make us the coolest character. We need to know what the cool point situation is. Remember, Google.
Check out next week so I can have some redemption.
It would be Tuesday the 20th, and then Christopher and I will be live intermittently with random streams here and there. So be on the lookout for those.
And
Anything else?
are y'all on Twitch also?
I am.
You're gonna need to start getting Twitch. I'm gonna get you in on Twitch.
I've seen the one game we watched.
So between here and the next time we go live, what we need to do is set it up to where when we go live here, it goes live on your Twitch and on your Twitch and on my Twitch and on your Twitch.
Yeah.
And so that way we've got 5 more channels that we're live.
Yeah, like sponsored streams or whatever.
And
Yeah, we could like do camera angles from all around.
and then when you're playing in any games, when you play on yours,
Yeah.
we'll also put it onto
All
KBC
KBC gamers.
And I'm going to put it on KBC gamers, and when you play on yours, we'll put it on. The only problem I think is going to be if we're trying to play at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
unless we're playing together.
Yeah. So we can figure that out here in a little bit.
Also, are we needing to put any of this stuff in my office, or are we just you guys just tag it out? It's free for I have the space. I have a shelf. If y'all want to take something that you don't want to
Maybe the felt.
let me know.
Yeah, anything that's annoying to move. I mean,
let me know.
I would leave my bag here, but I use it. If this was the only campaign, I would leave it here. But I use it 2 or 3 times a week. So
Start moving the stuff back.
yeah, we need to go ahead and start tearing down.
Are we still live?
Yeah, I don't know how to end it offhand.
Okay.
So, I do know how to end it. So, we will see you guys back Tuesday the 20th. Be on the lookout for some of our other streams. Do we want to mention our...
Yes.
Yeah, so the 24th of September, Christopher and I are doing a new homebuyer seminar. So, if you're interested in that, you can actually see me in real time because we did have camera trouble this time. Hopefully, we have it fixed by next. Not sure what will happen. So, yes, for more information, use either of the email links down below, and we can get that to you.
And and of course, when you're buying a new home, or if you're in an apartment right now and you're getting electricity or
Oh yeah. Hit me up. Reliant.
They can drop down a little bit. They can't see you. There you
I'll
go.
save y'all money with electricity. Your boy out here. Just hit up any of these guys. I'd love to run a quote with what you're currently using, and if I can save y'all money at the end of the day, dollars make sense. Much love. Who points out the window?
All right. So yeah, again, use either of those links below, and we can get you in contact with ways to do that.
and if you've got a refrigerator that's yours, or a dishwasher that's yours, or even a disposal.
No, we work on fridges, appliances, all kitchen and laundry appliances.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they're fixing the disposal for me right now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
know who's over there, but I don't know.
It could be Talon, it could be Steven, it could be,
I don't know, but.
But, I mean, it's a great company. It's, like...
And I mean, come on, any company with a guy named Talon has to be cool. Like,
I think we should get Talon in here, because he's gonna be a problem.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really, it feels like a family, it really does. We get together once every Friday
Just keep it in your office.
Yeah, have a team meeting down in the office, it's a really cool company.
I'm looking forward to your rebranding.
Yeah, I'm excited for the party.
You know, it's not, we want that on here too.
Yeah.
So, we all should be able to get that as well. Hopefully we'll get the camera stuff figured out. I've got the, I don't think we're gonna figure it out, I think we're gonna figure out how to work this.
Yeah.
So there may be some after hours shenanigans that come up here in the next short period
Yep.
of time.
Keep an eye out. But yeah, other than that, we will catch you all later.
Thank you so much for tuning in. See ya.
Cool points.